The election fever has now come and gone. The ANC officially declared the winner on Saturday, handing it a 6th straight term at the helm. ANC Veteran Mavuso Msimang is joining us now to give us his views of this performance by the ANC and, of course, unpack the polls and look at the way ahead. But Msimang, good morning and thank you very much for coming in. We understand you've not been well, you've been a bit under the weather, but we appreciate you making the time.
Thank you very much. I almost withdrew at the last moment.
Let's just get an overriding sense from you, as veterans of the ANC. How do you see the ANC's performance currently? Yesterday there was a Siyabonga kind of gathering outside Luthuli House in the head offices in Johannesburg, and the president of the ANC said, we've made it, we've won.
We're extremely delighted that the ANC made it. It was really by the skin of its teeth, as you know. I should say that Fikile Mbalula pulled off a real rabbit out of his head. It wasn't an easy thing to raise the ANC from the real doldrums in which it was, given all the reports about corruption, whether it was the Zondo Commission or whether it was Bosasa and all of that. It was a very difficult one. So to have crossed the line was a source of great jubilation. We wanted the ANC to win because we thought really it still remains, with all the difficulties, the best organization to run this country.
But for the first time since '94, the ANC has gone below 60%. And the effect of the share of the vote that were cast, total numbers, absolute numbers, about just over 10 million people voted for the ANC. And I think the ANC membership is about 1 million odd and so like that. So there's a lot of people who still have confidence in the ANC, but it's declining.
Oh, absolutely. It could not help but decline. Given all the things that happened in the last 3 years, you must know that the Gupta issue was very much in the public. The Zondo Commission and other commissions that I referred to were played out in the public, and these things were nasty about the ANC. You saw important senior ANC people being involved in these things. So the confidence of the people absolutely went down. I have to say that the ANC is, in the minds of very many people, especially the ordinary ones, an institution. They relate to it not so much because Sisulu or Mandela were great leaders, because their own blood, their own people have been involved in this organization. So they have wanted, they came out in numbers, not in as great numbers as we would have wanted to. But really, it's a combination of many things that saw us through. We are down as we had to be down. I thought we would lose.
Now, almost lost Gauteng, just over 50%. Mbalula himself, you referred to him on Saturday outside Luthuli House, saying that was pretty close. It gave the organization palpitations. But one would have thought, because of the image of the ANC since the Nazareth conference, led by Cyril Ramaphosa, and Gauteng provincial ANC structures supporting him, that they would have a better showing. But it didn't work somehow. What do you think? Where could it have gone wrong in Gauteng, for example?
There is a number of things about Gauteng. This is the most populous province in the country. This is also the province with people, I don't know how to say it without being offensive, fairly sophisticated, independent-minded people who analyze things rather than vote, because traditionally they've always been ANC. So the poor service delivery, yes, it affected the entire country. It really affected them. All the things that were happening were being played out in Gauteng. You must remember, of course, there was also the e-tolls. It's been an issue. People are not at all happy with the manner in which it has been handled. But I think because you have got a much more sophisticated, a much more modern voter here, much more discerning, a little more critical than others, they thought, listen, we don't like what's been going on. And that's
so they really showed it by not voting the ANC. Now, if you look at the numbers nationally, the biggest winner, in my view, the biggest gainer of seats is the EFF. They've gone up by 19 seats. They're now sitting at 44 in the National Assembly. ANC, because of its lower share of the national vote at just over 57%, they've gone down by the same number of votes, of seats, you know, from 249 now to 230. So, and the DA as well has lost. But just talking about the ANC, when you look at the National Assembly setup, having lost that majority, the pressure now being on the ANC to prove that it can do things differently, like the size of the cabinet, who is going to be in the cabinet. Those are issues that now are in the public eye.
One must congratulate the FF. They ran a good campaign and it paid off. They are focusing on younger people, and I think they turned out in large numbers. You could see that happening. So congratulations to them. In the case of the ANC, this is a signal that work must start now. The reduction in the number of seats means that the ANC must realize that the compact it has with the people to remove corruption, to start delivering services, is now. It has to begin now. I think the president has to make sure that he makes a choice between the people who voted for the ANC in spite of our corruption. He has to remove people who are associated with corruption. No two ways about that. It's nothing personal. It has to do with making sure that you promise to the people that you're going to do away with that you do away with them.
And then you deliver. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, ANC veteran Mavuso Msimang, just giving us the views from the veteran side after the elections.